there, Bob from Oregon's Constant Gardener. Welcome to the OCG Fam Show to you, my YouTube buddies. What's going on? Let me know in the comments. Let's talk about it. I know what you're thinking. What's the deal, Bob? What's the story? You haven't been doing the show. You have one here and there. Long patches between them. I know, I'm with you. It is not a harbinger of less shows to come. I've been working on stuff. Been kind of busy. It's been hard to do this. Been working on stuff with the store. Been working on some different things for this. And I've been trying to have Scott on the show more. Scott Ostrander, big kahuna over at Nectar for the Gods. And, you know, he's a real busy guy. So anyway, today was going to be the comprehensive feeding regimen show. We're going to go with part 4 where we're finally finishing up the entire Nectar thing. And then moving on to how we modulate that. And I did an interview with Scott just a little bit ago. It's hot here. Nice to get a cool drink. Did an interview with him, and it was really interesting, and it was on topic for a minute, then it just kind of wandered away, but it wandered off into some really interesting stuff. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to take that interview, I'm going to show you the whole thing. It's about 10 minutes long. And then tomorrow, actually I got something pretty cool tomorrow for you too. And then Monday, we're going to do the comprehensive feeding regimen. It's going to be an all-week kind of thing. We'll do a little piece of this interview. Will be part of that video for everybody. This one's mainly for y'all who watch the show all the time, looking for tips, tricks, stuff that Scott has to say. He's really good about this stuff. So watch this whole interview if you have the time. I hope you do. See what you think, and then we'll get back to instructional type shows later on, probably next week. But we're going to have some shows this week with some interesting stuff, some fun stuff. So watch the video. I'll talk to you in a minute. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Hey there, Bob from Oregon's Constant Gardener. We're here with Scott Ostrander, big kahuna at Nectar for the Gods. I said I wouldn't say that anymore, but it just can't stop. It's catching on in the comments. It's exciting. We're talking about this stuff.
One thing if I was Hawaiian, or we were in Hawaii, or this is a Hawaiian-based show.
We should make it a Hawaiian-based show.
We should, like, kind of like Wheel of Fortune, where they just show up on the beach.
That's what we should do. We'll be on the beach from now on.
We just need sponsors to pay for that.
Oh, well, all right. I'll start working on it.
Right.
Hey, we get Nectar for the Gods to sponsor us.
No, they don't do that.
All right. Like I said, Bob from Oregon's Constant Gardener, here with Scott. We're talking about the comprehensive feeding regimen. We've already gone through all this, the basic regimen, the, pushing hard on the line, making it grow. This, I think, I don't know if you think, completes a complete line of stuff. There's other things you can add, but this gives you a complete thing. Why?
Why does this make this all complete?
Yeah, well, you got kind of your 3-part line. You got this that's going to push growth. What does this add to the line?
So you got a 3-part.
Yep.
You got our bloom enhancement and pH adjustment.
Right.
And root cleaning and salt desalinator and all that. So then we move into here. So now we're kind of just focusing on the building blocks of every cell in every living thing.
Okay.
Which basically are going to be calcium molecules and amino acids. So with that being said, a lot of people in our industry run a lot of CalMag products.
Sure, yeah.
Calcium, magnesium products, because a lot of our plants will have magnesium needs.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of cocoa fibers out there in the world are saltier. They haven't been washed. They tend to tie up calcium, and a lot of people immediately think that's because cocoa fiber ties up calcium that we're going to need these supplements of CalMag.
But that's not the case necessarily.
Not necessarily.
You may fix it with the CalMag, but you're not fixing the problem. You're
just
rolling over the top of it.
Exactly. You're throwing a mask on a problem, and it's not going to make it better. Lipstick on the pig doesn't make the pig pretty. So
I would argue on that, but okay.
Anyways, so with that being said, we don't go to bars together.
All right, fair enough.
No wingman action here.
No.
We're both married. That's over. All right. So with our line, because we also produce our own potting soils, we know that we are preparing our cocoa fiber to the point where it's not going to be tying up the calcium like the standard cocoa fiber we see out in the industry. Mm-hmm. When you actually wash the salt off, when you buffer the cocoa medium, we're inoculating that so that we're freeing up the cocoa so it doesn't want to grab all our calcium and tie it up.
Okay.
Now, with that being said, breaking down cocoa fiber, we found out there's a lot of potassium, a lot of magnesium, a lot of trace mineral in that, and there's excess of it.
Okay.
So how do we access that to make the plants have that available to them for growth? Well, we started looking at chelators, and not EDTAs, not things that are synthetically generated chelators.
Okay.
But the calcium molecule, again, is such a reactive molecule, and in Demeters, what we do is we use the calcium phosphate from milk, the same milk we're using to make the Aphrodites.
Okay.
Talk about that down the road as an enhancement. But this calcium phosphate will go in and want to adhere to the cocoa to actually break down that magnesium or create a bond with the cocoa, so when the bacteria in the soil or the fungus in the soil wants to start breaking down the mineral that calcium is, in turn it's going to start breaking down the cocoa fiber and releasing potassium and magnesium at a level that is gentle to the plant. It's a non-metal form, and your plant will absorb it, and very rarely do we need more magnesium than what we're seeing just out of our natural potting mediums with a good compost, a good cocoa fiber, and in often cases even peat moss.
Wow, so a better, more natural form of magnesium, along with some other nutrient type stuff in that we're pulling out of that this is helping us to make edible to the plant, make available to the plant.
Yeah, through chelation. And a lot of the magnesiums that are natural out there's a lot of products out there. One of the ones that we promote outside of our line, if you really have a plant that's magnesium dense,
actual deficiency,
wants more, it's either going to be Epsom salt because it's simple, it's cheap, it's easy, but it's very reactive. You don't need a lot of it. And the other thing is that if you over apply, it just keeps releasing and releasing. And to me, it starts to change the profile of the fruit, the profile of the terpenes, when you start having too many or too high levels of magnesium. So what we find is either an Epsom salt or something like Magamp from
Cutting
those
Edge
guys.
Cutting
Edge guys know what they're doing when it comes to nanotechnology. That's one of the products. It's a magnesium sulfate. We add magnesium sulfate to the potting soils. We add it into Medusa. It's not excessive amounts, so if you needed that bump, you have to look outside the line for more magnesium.
And would you say that CalMag is a safer way to add it than using the Epsom salts, where the Epsom salts are cheap, but
it's a gentler way.
Okay.
I think it's a far more control. I think a lot of people overdo Epsom salt, and then we're Americans. We try to correct things with shooting stuff. So if you really had that as an issue, then it's a gentler way of doing it and a far more control, and then you can tie it up by watering excess amounts of Herculean. If you feel you've overdone it, then just tie them up.
So getting my magnesium and such from my soil is a better way to go. This does that. If you've got Salty Pete, Salty Pete,
I know that guy.
I know that guy.
He's a dick.
Or you've gone too far with some other things. A Herculean Harvest flush would be your way that you would fix that situation so that you can do this. And Epsom salts or a CalMag kind of situation would be I actually got a plant here that's super hungry. For that, I need to do that. But in most circumstances, this is a preferable solution to that.
Yep.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Athena's Aminas. That's the next one. What's going on there?
Well, with the Athenas, a lot of the amino acids in the industry are, amino acids are amazing. They're across the board. You can get them from a lot of different elements. We found that amino acids from animal byproducts, the plants definitely respond the most to, from our experiences. So what we did was created a 22 L-amino acid chain of just liquid amino acids. It acts as a very mild nitrogen. There's no nitrogen added, but amino acid chains will have your two end blocks with your amino acids. So when they break, those ends will become available in very mild forms and in protein form. So you're going to get greening, you'll get growth, you won't get elongation, you won't get burns. Basically it's just creating a very mild nitrogen amino acid chain for the plant to absorb.
So not unlike this, where we're taking something and we're making it instead of pouring a bunch of it on there, kind of situation. The nitrogen.
Oh yeah, you're not, as far as like pumping them up full of nitrogen, there's no nitrogen. I mean, it's a protein that breaks down into a nitrogen.
So this is a good way to get some nitrogen in there without glug, 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 glug.
Yeah, without hammering with like a blood meal or guano or some kind of high nitrogen product. This is going to create that same greening, the same growth without the elongation or the potential to burn. The other thing, this is great as a foliar feed because it's right accepted into the plant through foliage.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's about it. This gets us to where we can start talking about how we can put this whole thing together. We got our complete line.
Well, real quick.
Yeah.
Because it escaped me for a second because
Sure.
my brain damage is awesome. A lot of people that are running those certain genetics, and they've heard through the grapevine, they've seen online, they've heard the blogs where there's a couple different type of genetics that definitely hold on to nitrogen all the way through the end of flowering.
Yes. So you got too much nitrogen going on.
Too much nitrogen. Well,
too
not
much
even.
at the end.
Yeah, and they find it. So
Right.
if you have even a 0.5 nitrogen from the amino acid protein,
sure,
they're going to stay really green with this product.
even this little bit's gonna be.
It will.
I got with that genetic.
Well, plus they're going to find the worm castings, the humus,
It's
the
all
compost. They're finding it, but this is aiding to it. So
right. Okay.
for those genetics, the Medusa and the Athena are the first two to pull out.
Okay.
To replace that nutrition, you would up your Gaiamania to replace your Medusa.
So double bubble on this one, none of this one.
Yeah,
Almost.
basically, if you're at a teaspoon here, then just add the teaspoon to this one.
Okay.
And then pull your Athenas out.
Right.
And if you still need the amino acids, you're in flowering.
Yeah.
We'd put the Tritons in its place.
Oh.
And we'll discuss Tritons as an enhancement down the road as not needed. But if you need amino acids, you're still going to get them throughout just naturally the materials we use. This is pure, and then Triton's trawl will be a very strong amino acid with phosphorus from fish bone.
If it's resistant fading out at the end, you'd switch to the Tritons and then take the Medusa.
Yeah. If your plants stay green, cut these out week 2, week 3, and then fade them out with the rest of the product line.
Very cool. Okay. That's some good stuff.
Did something.
Ah. That's it. Okay, that was fun. We sure appreciate Scott doing that. I hope you enjoyed that and found it informative. Another thing kind of like this coming up tomorrow, and then the show with some instructional stuff, getting back into the comprehensive feeding regimen and all that next week. But we're going to have some fun stuff coming, and videos much more often, getting back to the everyday kind of thing. And I'm sorry I've been slacking off. It was in your interest that I was doing some stuff I needed to do to make the show happen, make the show better. So, sorry, I love you, and I'll see you tomorrow. It's going to be fun. For more information about anything on today's show, go to our website, OCGFAM.com. And if you buy anything while you're there, use the code FAMSUMMER. It's going to save you 20% on everything, and it's a lot of fun. The OCG Fam Show, it's pretty good. It happens every day. It's the OCG Fam Show. See you tomorrow.